Trump just admitted something extraordinary at his Iowa rally. He revealed he could manipulate unemployment numbers by hiring millions of federal workers tomorrow. But that's not the shocking part. The shocking part is what this admission reveals about how economic numbers actually work in Washington. See, this matters because every economic report you see, every jobs number that moves markets, every statistic politicians use to claim victory, Trump just pulled back the curtain on how it's all potentially manipulated. Stephen Moore boasts about 5.5% growth in rising family income. Are we seeing real prosperity or statistical sleight of hand? And here's what's personal: your retirement account, your job prospects, your family's financial future. They're all tied to economic data that Trump just admitted can be gamed. Meanwhile, he's already preparing his base for Democrat impeachment attempts, calling them very nasty people who will impeach him for making a wrong turn. This isn't just political theater. This is a president openly discussing how to manufacture economic success while pre-positioning himself as the victim. Speaking of real economic fundamentals that can't be faked, we got some breaking news on January 5th of this year. The U.S. Department of Energy announced $2.7 billion in contracts to restore domestic uranium enrichment capabilities. This is not just government spending, it's a declaration of intent. America needs uranium, domestic uranium, and it needs it right now. You see, the U.S. consumes 50 million pounds of uranium annually, but produces only 5%. We're dependent on Russia and Kazakhstan for our nuclear fuel. That's a national security nightmare. While politicians debate job numbers, smart money is moving to uranium. Companies like Atomic Minerals are positioned at the center of this uranium renaissance. They're not just mining, they're securing America's energy independence. The Department of Energy contracts, they prove this is not speculation anymore. It's policy. It's national security. It's investment opportunity. So you need to check out the briefing. It's linked down below to learn how uranium could power both America's grid and your portfolio. And we thank Atomic Minerals Corp for supporting this show. Because real economic strength comes from real resources, not statistical manipulation. Now, here is the twist that nobody's talking about. Trump's admission about hiring federal workers isn't just theoretical. It's exactly what happened during COVID. Massive government hiring that artificially boosted employment numbers. So when he says he could do it again, he's not hypothesizing. He's describing the playbook that both parties are already using. Here is the president in Iowa.
And very importantly, on day one, I kept my promise to the people of Iowa and abolished the insane electric vehicle mandate, which would have obligated you to go out and buy an electric car, but it would have obliterated a thing called ethanol. Do you like ethanol? Is it big? A lot of people are asking me about ethanol. I don't know. Do you want me to do something with ethanol? Maybe.
Ethanol. Farmers love it. Here we go. We got some more. Let's keep going. Trump's opening pitch to Iowa farmers sets up his broader deregulation agenda. Now he's going to be building the momentum to the policy wins. This all happened earlier today.
He repealed the Biden's EPA ridiculous water restrictions to keep federal bureaucrats off your land and out of your business. That was a big one. That was a big one. I terminated the so-called diesel exhaust fluid requirement. You know what that is? Saving family farmers more than $1 billion a year.
$1 billion a year. You got to love that. Okay. Moving right along, we have this. From cutting red tape to bringing jobs home, this John Deere announcement is Trump's proof of concept of his manufacturing strategy.
Today, I'm pleased to announce one more historic investment. The great American company that we just talked about is doing so much. I have to give it really. I buy so much equipment from so many of the people in the, we have a lot of very successful companies in here, but I know it's a very special deal because John Deere is doing $70 million in factory in North Carolina, brand new, the best in the world. And I think it's going to pay off very, very big. And if it doesn't, I have nothing to do with it. But if it does, I'm going to take full credit. But what it is an excavator factory, as I understand it, and it's going to be the only excavator factory. In other words, excavators. We all know I love those excavators. Believe it or not, I know a lot about them. We don't make them here. This is going to be the only excavator entirely made in the United States of America. So that's good. That's good. I love it.
I had no idea. The John Deere factory isn't news. It's Trump's evidence of the economic victory lap he's about to take. Here we go.
Under my leadership, economic growth is exploding to numbers unheard of. They've never had them before in recent times, and now, and we're just getting started. You know, the great, big, beautiful bill, which is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our seniors. Do we have any seniors in here? Do we have any seniors in here? One of the fake news said, he did that because he doesn't want to pay tax on his Social Security. Don't you believe? That's what I never thought of. These are sick people.
These are sick people. Of course. Yeah, like he's doing it so Trump doesn't have to pay taxes. He's setting up his before and after narrative, positioning himself as the turnaround CEO that fixed Biden's mess. Here's more from that rally.
So now we're back where it all started to celebrate the greatest first year of any administration in American history. They say that. Even the radical left is saying, holy man, we did a lot of things. 12 months ago, Joe Biden handed us a mess. We inherited the legacy of record high inflation, the highest inflation in the history of our country. They say the fake news, ooh, that's a lot of fake news. No, the fake news said it's 48 years. I remember recently I said the highest inflation, the worst, I believe this, by the way, worst in the history of our country. They said it wasn't the worst. It was 48 years. I said, that's okay, too. Somehow that sounds even worse than when you say the history, right? 48 years. I accepted that, but I think it was in the history. A mass invasion of our border and our country was being laughed at all over the world. We were being laughed at. We were a joke. We're not a joke anymore. We're not a joke. We're not being laughed at anymore. But today, just after 1 year of President Trump, our economy is booming, incomes are rising, investment is soaring, inflation has been defeated. Our border is closed, totally closed. And America is respected all over the world.
Because we are America first, baby. After painting the rosy economic picture, Trump pivots to his favorite target, the Democrats, threatening his agenda.
What will happen? What will happen if Democrats take the House?
They'll probably try and impeach me. They'll say he went to Iowa and he spoke unfairly to people and he's not supposed to do that. Let's impeach him, okay? And the people in Iowa would say, how did he get impeached? He just did an interview with Will, who has very good ratings, okay? But they just did an interview with Will. Now, they'll find something. There'll be something. I made the wrong turn at an exit and let's impeach him. Now, they did that before. They impeached me on a perfect phone call. Turned out they impeached me twice. And by the way, I won the impeachments very easily and quickly. But they impeach. They're very nasty people. You know, they have bad policy, really bad, but they do two things. They stick together, not stupid. Some are, because, you know, that's true with everything, right? But they stick together, but they have really bad policy. Men and women's sports, transgender for everybody. So many things are so bad.
Yeah, what kind of policies? Who votes for that stuff? But his impeachment concerns lead perfectly into his economic validator, economist Stephen Moore, backing up the boom claims.
Look at the facts of the economy. It is a booming economy. The latest report is almost 5.5% growth in the fourth quarter, which is incredible number. We haven't seen that in recent memory. We've got gas prices down. Inflation is headed down to the 2% target. Median family income last year was up $2,500. Those are people in the exact middle, adjusted for inflation. I mean, I could go on and on with the positive elements of this.
The positive elements. This is a whole positive second term. The numbers give Trump credibility before going back to the classic Trump taking shots at the media. Check this out.
Of your own administration officials have labeled Alex.
By the way, this is ABC fake news. This one. She hasn't asked me a good question in years. I think a nice woman, but I don't really like her too much. Go ahead. What'd you say? I'd say ABC's about as bad as they get.
Would you like to see the dollars?
Here we have President Trump talking about cutting the federal employees. Thought we did. What happened? Load. Well, what he says, what we have done, we've cut the federal employees and they've gone to the private sector. Loading? Loading? Maybe not. Either way, the mask has slipped. Trump didn't admit he could fake the job numbers. He revealed that every administration probably does. When politicians boast about economic victories, ask yourself, are those real jobs or are those government positions created to move statistics? Because the difference determines whether America is actually prospering or just pretending. So here's what we've learned. Economic statistics are more malleable than politicians want you to know. Trump's Iowa confession shows how employment numbers can be manufactured through government hiring. Meanwhile, real economic strength comes from genuine productivity, real resources, and actual value creation. This changes how you should evaluate every jobs report, every economic claim, and every political promise moving forward. The question isn't whether the economy is good or bad. The question is whether the numbers you're seeing reflect reality or political theater. So here's my question for you. Do you trust government economic statistics, yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, check out the Next News merch shop for gear that cuts through the statistical spin.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.